Hello everybody, I'm Kellen Fisher. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's been a while, so we're going to be doing the college basketball preseason poll. At number 25, we have UNC. Now, UNC, they finished the season last year not ranked. They have not been as good as what they've been in previous seasons. They have struggled since Roy Williams left a couple years ago and Davis took over. Now, Davis brought them to the national championship in 2021, I believe, against Kansas the first year after Roy Williams left. But other than that, UNC has not done a whole lot. They have not been that top 10 team that we expect them to be every year. And for that, them being at 25 is probably a really good spot to put them at. But one spot above them is a team that Roy Williams coached against his very last game of his career and lost to the Wisconsin Badgers. The Wisconsin Badgers at 24. Now, that's a pretty decent spot because they finished the season last year ranked 16th, lost in the second round to BYU, who's pretty high up on this list, and they lost in the Big Ten championship game. So Wisconsin made it pretty far, and their coach Greg Gard has done an amazing job with the transfer portal, using it to Wisconsin's advantage. They could go pretty far this year, but I'm not talking a Elite Eight, maybe at least a Sweet 16 run for them. And then you have at 23, you have Creighton. Now, Creighton finished the season last year once again outranked, like UNC, and I think they're gonna do pretty well this year because I don't think they're not going up a whole lot of good teams. You got St. John's, who's high up on this list, very high up actually, compared to previous years. St. John's finished the season last year ranked 11th. We'll get into them though later. So Creighton's not playing a whole lot. They always got Marquette. Marquette's a tough place to play. Marquette, they play physical basketball. They have one of the best coaches in college basketball, in my opinion. So that's going to be a hard thing to do, is go to Marquette and beat Marquette, or have Marquette go to your court. Very hard to do is beat Marquette. Now, then you move up with another Big Ten team. You have Michigan State. Now, Michigan State still has Tom Izzo, and I understand. I hear a few people tell me that they think that Tom Izzo should retire. Now, I think Tom Izzo is a great coach, as he's been his entire career, but he's not a coach and doesn't have the coaching talent to bring Michigan State to the Final Four or the national championship game. He has the talent to bring Michigan State, I think, with this team and this roster, probably to the Sweet 16, as what happened last year. I don't think that he can go much further than that with the coaching talent he has in the roster. And then you have at number 21, you have Gonzaga. Gonzaga, you know this if you've watched the YouTube channel and the previous videos I've done about college basketball. Gonzaga doesn't play anybody. They might start off in one of those big tournament games, but they don't play anybody at the end of the day. They always played St. Mary's, who was ranked, and that was it. Gonzaga is not tested enough for me. That's why I don't think Gonzaga should be on this list, because I don't think they play enough teams to really test themselves, and they have not been as good as what they've been the past few years to add on to that. And then you go to number 20, you have Auburn. Now, Auburn, they lost their coach, Bruce Pearl, who's now going to be a college basketball analyst, and there was some talk on him running for a Senate seat, but we're not really sure on that one. So with him gone, this leaves a pretty big question mark around how Auburn's going to adapt to this coaching change. I think they'll do pretty well. I think that they'll go pretty far this year, or somewhat far. They'll make the tournament. They might go to the second round, but they won't go past the second round, in my opinion, from what I've seen from this roster. Now, number 19, you have Kansas. Kansas, that's one of the hardest places to play in college basketball. Their fans bring it all day, every day. They have one of the loudest fans, the loudest stadiums. It's so hard to play at, and that's going to be a big factor for this team, and they're going to use it like they always do, to their advantage. As Bill Self's still their coach and national championship winning coach, we'll see what they can do this year. Then at 18, you have Tennessee. Tennessee, good in football and basketball. Tennessee this year, they have Rick Barnes as their coach. They lost in their exhibition game at home to Duke a few nights ago, but Duke's high up on this list. Duke is a good team, as they always are. So it was a very close game, back and forth. That doesn't scare me at all. It was also an exhibition game. I think Tennessee is going to be a really good team this year. you need to watch out for this team in the paint. They will dunk the ball, and they are physical. Watch out for Tennessee if you're in the SEC. At number 17, you have Illinois. Honestly, Illinois should be higher up on this list. They have Brad Underwood as their coach. He is one of the best coaches in college basketball, always improving his teams every year. They have a pretty good stadium to play at, a physical basketball team. This is a team that I think will do very well this year in the Big Ten, and a team that I don't want to play in if I'm in the Big Ten. So I think they should be higher up on this list. And number 16 is Iowa State, a Big 12 school. Iowa State, they play pretty physical basketball. They have a great coach who definitely stays in shape if you've ever seen a picture of him. He has to work out with the team. This team is physical. You can tell they work out, and they get some good defensive stops too, so they'll use that to their advantage. Number 15 is Alabama. I think this is a pretty good spot for them because I think Alabama's a great shooting team. Alabama was a great shooting team last year. They scored a lot of points, had several games where they made it over 100 into the triple digits, which is not normal in college basketball. So they're a great shooting team. You have to guard outside the paint. If you can force Alabama inside the paint, then you'll have a good chance at beating them and making the game pretty close. Number 14, you have Arkansas. Now, Arkansas kind of surprises me just a little bit. I mean, they were ranked last year. Don't get me wrong. But I just think Arkansas is a team that not very many people follow, and I don't know where to put them because they finished last year ranked at 20th, and their conference record last year was 8-10, and their overall was 22-14. So I think they're going to be a good team. We should expect about the same from them. I would definitely move them down a couple of spots. I don't think they're a top 14 team. I think Illinois should be ranked higher than them. I think Alabama should be ranked higher than them. So I think that move them down a couple of spots, in my opinion. But now we're going to Arizona. Arizona, they are a big physical team. They just had a home-and-home last year against Wisconsin. And they went to Wisconsin, lost. I remember following that game. I was unfortunately not able to watch the game, but I followed it on my phone. It was the same night as that big Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. So I was at a watch party for that, and I really wasn't paying attention a whole lot to the game, but I tried to watch it on my phone. And just like Alabama, Arizona is a team where they can shoot, and they will shoot the lights out on you. You have to guard them and force them into the paint. At number 12, you have UCLA. Now, this one might surprise a lot of people, as it surprises me, seeing UCLA up on this list, because I would not have thought to have seen UCLA up on this list, if I'm being honest with you, because UCLA is one of those teams that is just not very good. You don't expect for them to be a basketball school anymore. UCLA, they had Coach Wooden. If you've ever read John Wooden's Pyramid of Success, it's one of the best college basketball books out there. You need to read it. I own a copy of it. It's amazing. But UCLA, to me, this is a big jump from last year. They finished the season last year not ranked 13-7 in Big Ten play, which to me is still weird to say Big Ten play and not Pac-12 play. And they finished 23-11 at the end of the day. So this team, I think, is probably going to play a little bit worse than that. I think the Big Ten has improved just so much across the board where I think UCLA is going to struggle. And I think UCLA is probably still going to struggle with them being their second year in the Big Ten with the whole time change thing. Now, I know they did it last year, but it's still a big change for many people just playing, in high school ball for the freshmen, going from California. You might have to go all the way across the country to go play in Maryland or go to Pennsylvania to play Penn State, or go to New Jersey to play Rutgers. That's going to be hard to do. Number 11, you have Louisville. Louisville, I think they're going to do very well this year because the ACC is not as good as what it's historically been, and that's going to show this year. Louisville is a great team, and they'll have no problem winning quite a few games. I would say if they lose about 5 or 6 games is probably where I'd put them. Number 10, we're getting to our top 10. You have Texas Tech. Texas Tech is a physical team, Texas Tech, they will shoot the lights out on you. Now, not as good as what Arizona nor Alabama will do, but they're still a great shooting team. Number 9, you have Kentucky. Kentucky, I feel like it's one of those teams where you just expect them to be up here every year, you know? Kentucky's great. They bring a great crowd to the stadium with them. Now, they don't have a good following wherever they play, as some other teams do. They don't travel super well, but that's okay. Now, Kentucky's going to be, I think they should be a little bit lower on this list, maybe not 11 or 12. Not too much of a difference from 9, but we'll see. Now, number 8 is BYU. BYU played phenomenal, amazing last year at the NCAA tournament. They beat Wisconsin in the second round, went on to go to the Sweet 16 and lose in a close game, a pretty decent close game. And I think that I just think that BYU would be as good, if not they've improved dramatically from last year. They will be one of those teams where you put them up with Alabama and we'll shoot the lights out. It's a good team. Number 7 is Michigan. Now, this is probably the biggest jump by a team, or one of the biggest jumps, in my opinion, by where I would have put them. They finished the season last year ranked 10th, which, I don't think Michigan will be a top 7 team. I don't think they are, honestly. I think BYU is better than Michigan. I think you could probably argue Alabama too. And I know Alabama's way down there at 15, but I would argue that. And at number 6, you have Duke. Duke is historically good. They're good this year. They're good. They've been good last year. They did an amazing and a phenomenal job with the transition from Mike Krzyzewski over to another coach. Because, there's always a question mark around that, where UNC did not do as good of a job, and I don't think they picked the right person for the job, unlike Duke. Duke did an amazing job. Their crowd is awesome. They are a great school, but, man, I am not a Duke fan at all. Number 5 is St. John's. St. John's is a great team. I think Duke is better than them. I would switch them. So I agree with the coaches poll on this. The coaches poll has Duke and St. John's switched. Number 4 is UConn. Is this UConn's bounce back year? I saw the headline on ESPN. I think it's a good chance, because I don't think Florida is going to go back to back. I think Florida's lost in talent. I think they're still going to be a good team, but Florida's not the best team in the country. And number 4 is UConn. Number 3. We're going to Florida. Number 3, Florida. I don't think they're going to be as good as what they were last year. I don't think they've made some changes. I'd put them a little bit lower on this list. I might put Duke in front of Florida. Number 2 is Houston. Houston is an amazing team. They lost in the championship last year to Florida. They beat Duke in the Final Four. Houston's a great team, and I'm excited to see where this Houston team goes. Number 1 is Purdue. Their first time ever being ranked in a preseason number 1 poll. I think Purdue is a great team. I believe Matt Painter is their coach, an amazing coach. Like him a lot. Crowd always brings it. They're a physical team. They always have tall players. As a Wisconsin fan, I'm always scared every time I see Purdue on our schedule. I hope you enjoyed this video, as now I'm back to uploading. So we will see what the basketball season and the rest of the sports have in store for us. I'm Kellen Fisher. Don't forget to smash that like button, and I'll see you next video.